Wow, so I have an exciting video for you guys today because the time has finally come. Today I'm holding absolutely nothing back and for the first time ever revealing it all to you guys. My entire $1 million high growth stock portfolio, which is made up of just 12 companies. Now real quick, I just want to say that to some of you, the amount of money in my portfolio will look like a lot of money, and to others, it will look like pennies. But to me, this is the culmination of many years of hard work. Also for my fellow investors who are just starting out, and to whom these numbers may seem out of reach to, here's some perspective. I am the youngest son of 3, and my parents are both immigrants who came to the US with nothing but the clothes on their back. They are extremely hardworking people, but all they knew was hard physical labor, and you had to physically work for every penny you earned. So they never made much money, and no one ever taught them how to make their money work for them, or how to invest, which is unfortunately an all too common occurrence and a limiting mindset that many Spanish households have. And it's one of the reasons I am so passionate about what I do. Also, my first job was working as a cashier for $7.25 an hour at a supermarket called Pathmark in Queens, New York. And when I started investing, I only had about $500 to invest. So the main point that I want to get across to you all, and I really hope it resonates, is just remember, it doesn't matter where you start. What matters is that you actually start and that you are relentless with seeking knowledge and having a strong desire to want to grow, no matter what it takes. And also, I've been getting a ton of messages and requests about this, so I'm happy to announce that we are now officially opening back up signups for our Patreon and Discord. So this is your opportunity. Now we've already had over 500 of you beautiful people sign up just within the first week alone that it was opened. So there are now only a limited amount of spots left, and then signups will be completely closed again. So don't miss out. And just to recap, membership not only helps support the channel, but also includes exclusive benefits like access to our private Discord channel, exclusive content, plus you'll have 24/7 access to my entire stock portfolio. And on top of that, you'll also get access to my buy or sell signals, meaning you'll know every single stock I decide to buy right when I buy it, and you'll know exactly when I decide to sell my position. Now, if this is something that would interest you, or you're just curious and you want to know more information, simply click the link below, and I made a quick 3-minute video for you and posted it on my Patreon page that explains in depth not only the benefits of becoming a Patreon member, but also what our community is all about and what we represent and what we want to accomplish with this platform. So I can't wait to work with you one-on-one, and I can't wait to grow this community to become one of the most impactful communities ever. And with that being said, I'll see you on the other side. Thank you. So now without further ado, for each stock, I'll not only give you a brief recap of what the company actually does, but even more importantly, I'll also share with you guys my strategy and mindset for the stock going forward, and whether I think now is a good time for you guys to start a new position in that company or not. So I really put a ton of effort into making this video for you guys and making sure that I provide as much value and transparency as possible. So I'd appreciate an early thumbs up. But with that being said, let's not waste any more time and let's get right into it. So we're going to be starting from my smallest position and then getting all the way up to my biggest position. So the first company in my portfolio, which is currently my smallest position, and it's an absolute channel favorite, and that company is WORKHORSE, ticker symbol WKHS. And I have 130 shares at a cost basis of $17.76 a share. And we're currently down about 5% on this position. Now this is literally the epitome of a speculative stock, meaning high risk, high reward. Thus why it's a smaller position in my portfolio. But man, am I excited about WORKHORSE, because in case you didn't already know, they make electric vehicles, but specifically ones that are designed for last mile delivery, which is the movement of goods from the warehouse to its final delivery destination. Or in most people's cases nowadays, from Amazon's warehouse to our houses. But what makes this company so exciting is that they are now just one of 3 companies that are in the running to win a massive $6 billion contract from the USPS to replace their aging fleet of delivery trucks. And considering that this company only has a market cap of about $1.7 billion, winning this contract would likely cause the stock to either double or even triple in a very short time span. Now, if you haven't already, I highly recommend you watch my last video on WORKHORSE because I break down exactly why I think that they have this contract in the bag. And keep in mind that the announcement from the USPS will likely be coming very soon, in September. So I'm still extremely bullish on Workhorse, and I think any price under $20 would be a great entry point. But keep in mind that this is probably one of the most speculative investments that I have, so only invest money that you are willing to lose. So now for the second smallest position in my account, which is held by NIO, the luxurious electric car manufacturer from China, who has aspirations to be the next Tesla. Now I currently have 300 shares of NIO at a cost basis of $14.75, and we are currently up about 23% on this position. Now, do I really think that NIO will grow to be as big as Tesla? The short answer, no. But as investors, we don't need them to grow that big in order for us to make a ton of money. Let me explain. Despite facing a global pandemic, NIO just reported amazing second quarter earnings, beating analyst expectations and delivering over 10,300 cars in the second quarter alone, an almost 200% increase year over year. Plus, NIO has an almost cult-like following of raving fans who absolutely love their cars, which actually have really cool features, by the way, that even Tesla cars don't have, such as the ability to literally swap out your battery in 6 minutes or less, and it's completely free to do, which is even more badass. But most importantly, and the main reason why I am betting on them succeeding in the long term, and why I will hold this stock for at least the next 3 to 5 years, is because they are literally backed and funded by the Chinese government, who they have received over $1 billion from. And if you know anything about the Chinese government and how they operate, there is no way in hell that they will allow Tesla, an American company, to steal all the EV market share away in China, which, by the way, they have the largest EV market in the world, and it's about 3 to 4 times bigger than the US. And if you're interested in more information on this, I highly recommend you check out my video on NIO, because I even give specific examples of what the Chinese government has done in the past for companies like Huawei, in order to help them dominate and to take significant market share away from Apple. So in my opinion, as long as you are willing to hold for the long term and you're okay with dealing with the short-term volatility, I would say that NIO is a buy at any price under $25. Now, third up is Tortoise Acquisition Corp, ticker symbol SHLL, who I invested $5,000 in just last month for 165 shares at a cost basis of around $30, and I'm currently up a little over 20% on that position. Now, they have been on quite a rampage as of late, doubling from around just $19 to almost $40 a share within just the past 2 weeks. Now, no major news has come out recently, so the run-up in price is most likely due to the merger date quickly approaching. In fact, it's likely to take place within the next couple of weeks, where they will merge with a company called Hyliion, who, like Nikola, is primarily targeting the commercial trucking industry. But unlike Nikola, they already have a real physical product that is already commercially available and is already being used by customers. Not just a cool looking sketch of a truck and some jet skis on a website. Now, I'm a big fan of Hyliion and what they are doing, because they are not in the truck making business. Instead, they are laser focused and specialized on making the best powertrains on planet Earth that can be retrofitted to practically any truck, which means that they do not have to build out any expensive infrastructure, and trucking companies wouldn't need to spend millions of dollars to replace their entire fleet of trucks. Instead, they could simply be retrofitted with Hyliion's technology for a fraction of the cost. Plus, their Hypertruck ERX is an absolute beast, whose specs make Trevor Milton cry and even outperform the soon-to-be released Tesla Semi. Not to mention that it's also carbon negative, so it's actually better for the environment for you to drive your Hypertruck than not to drive it, which is pretty surreal. So if you recall, earlier this year, just a few months ago, Nikola's stock more than doubled from around $30 to almost $80 in literally a day after the merger officially closed. So in my opinion, I see something very similar happening to Hyliion stock once the merger closes in a few weeks. So I would say that any price under $40 is still a good entry point. Next up is an absolute classic, because this is actually one of the first stocks that I recommended when I made this channel just 4 months ago, and that is Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA, the quote-unquote Chinese Amazon, and an absolutely category disrupting company that is doing incredible things at a scale that very few companies can ever hope to achieve. Now, if you purchased this company back when I first recommended it on this channel, you'd already be up almost 50% on your position in just a few months, so not bad at all. Now, I currently only have 25 shares because I've already sold and took profits on about 75% of my position. And the reason I did this is because I wanted to minimize my exposure to the ever escalating political tension between America and China. Plus, I was already up huge on this position, and I wanted to invest this money into another company that in my mind has even more upside potential, and we'll be talking about them very soon. With that being said, I am still bullish on Alibaba, and I think they have a very bright future ahead. But at the current price of around $285 a share, and with the lingering political issues, I personally wouldn't recommend starting a position in them right now. Now, stock number 5 in the portfolio is Illumina, ticker symbol ILMN. And I have 46 shares at a cost basis of around $280. And I'm currently up a little over $3,000 on that position in just a few months. So not bad at all. Now, Illumina is at the epicenter of the genomic revolution, which is an area of biotech that can completely revolutionize forever how we diagnose and cure diseases. But with that being said, this is a field that is constantly seeing new innovations, which could potentially make the current preferred methods of DNA sequencing completely obsolete. And I was also pretty surprised to see that when Illumina reported Q2 earnings, that their revenue and operating income both dropped. Plus, they are now facing increased competition from a company called Pacific Bioscience, which they actually tried to acquire earlier this year, but weren't able to close the deal. So I'm actually planning on selling this position very soon and taking my profits and capital out, which is about $13,000. And I will be investing this money into a new, exciting category disrupting company that I've been researching and I'm super bullish about because I think they are going to absolutely dominate for years to come. And if you are part of my Patreon family, you'll be the first to know the very instant I make the move. Now, next up is something that I rarely ever do, which is invest in penny stocks. But this isn't your ordinary penny stock that has no proven business model whatsoever, because these guys are crushing it, and that is Planet 13, ticker symbol PLNHF, which I currently have 5,910 shares of at a cost basis of around $2.30, and we're currently up over $6,000 on this position. This stock was first brought to my attention by Jeremy over at Financial Education, and then once I started doing my own research on them, the more bullish I became. Now, the best way to think about Planet 13 is like the Disney World of MJ. They are by far the largest dispensary in the entire world, with their Las Vegas superstore being over 112,000 square feet, and they plan on opening more superstores across the country. Now, I'm actually going to be releasing a detailed video on why I'm investing in Planet 13 soon, so I'm not going to go too in depth right now. But I will tell you guys that I'm super excited about this position and I plan on holding this stock for the next 5 to 10 years. So very long term. Also, I really want to increase this position, especially if they dip below $3 again, because I believe that this stock has the potential to appreciate by 10 to 100x over the next decade, especially because in my opinion, full legalization countrywide is inevitable, and Planet 13 is positioning themselves to capitalize on this movement in a major way. Next up at number 7 is another channel favorite, and that company is Square, a payment technology company founded by Jack Dorsey, who is also the founder of Twitter. And they have lofty ambitions of dismantling and essentially making obsolete the dinosaur of an industry that is the banking industry, which is a sector that has been robbed of any significant innovations over the past couple of decades. Now, I made an extremely detailed video on why I believe Square is in a prime position to dominate over the next several years. So I highly recommend you watch that video, because since that video was posted, we are already up over 140% on that position, with a total gain of almost $14,000 in just a few months. And the crazy part is that Square, in my opinion, still has massive upside potential ahead of them, and they are just getting started, so don't miss out on this one. Coming in at number 8 is probably one of the safest investments in my entire portfolio, and that is Microsoft, a company that without a doubt you all know and have likely used their products at one point or another. I bought this stock back in March when it dipped because I knew it was easy money, and sure enough, we are already up over $10,000 on this position. Now, there has been a lot of excitement surrounding Microsoft lately because they could potentially be purchasing TikTok, the new social media platform that we are all embarrassed to admit that we actually use and somewhat enjoy.
No, no!
Mom, I caught a seagull.
Oh my god, let it go.
But honestly, even though I do plan on continuing to hold this position, I wouldn't personally recommend buying it at these current prices because in my opinion, it's questionable how much the TikTok purchase would actually add to their bottom line. Wow, so now we're getting to the really good stuff. Number 9 is probably one of my favorite positions because I cannot tell you guys how much hate I got for recommending people buy this stock back in early April when it was trading at around $370. And that stock is Shopify, ticker symbol SHOP. And back then, almost every YouTuber talking about Shopify was saying that it was overvalued and that you should not buy it. But being someone that has personally started multiple online businesses, I knew that their platform, which enables small businesses to create their very own online stores and get everything up and running to start selling and collecting money online in a matter of minutes, was going to absolutely take off. So I bought 88 shares at a cost basis of around $340. And sure enough, within just 4 months, they are now trading at over $1,000 a share. And we are currently up over $62,000 on this position alone. Now, if you're interested in knowing more about Shopify and why I believe they are the biggest threat to disrupt Amazon's business model, then I highly recommend you watch this video and I'll link it up above for you. Now, I have absolutely no plans on cashing out my profits anytime soon because I believe Shopify is still in its infancy and they still have a ton of upside to go. And if they ever do dip back down to the 700 or 800 ranges, I will be loading up. Whoa, so we are now up to the final 3, which are my 3 biggest positions. So first one up is Apple, ticker symbol AAPL, another company that we all know and either love or hate their products. But one thing is absolutely undeniable, and that is that they are an absolute juggernaut who just beat analyst expectations on revenue by over $7 billion and are getting ready to unveil, for the first time ever, their first 5G capable device. Not to mention that they are about to enter what analysts are calling their super cycle, which is when the company sees its largest uptick in iPhone sales, more than any other period. And this is because now more than 1/3 of iPhone users haven't upgraded their phones in over 39 months. And they're getting very close to the point where they will start wanting a new phone. So I am currently up over $42,000 on this position and have no plans of selling because I truly believe that Apple is one of those rare stocks that I would call
it's such an easy money stock.
An easy money stock. Now their stock is about to split on Monday, so it will be trading at around $125 a share. And even with the huge 2 trillion market cap, I still feel confident labeling Apple stock as a buy. And I recommend you watch my last video to truly understand why. But this is a company that is getting ready to absolutely dominate and shatter analyst expectations yet again in Q4. Alright guys, the time has finally come because we are now up to the final stretch, the championship rounds.
Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant has it. Whatever that it is, Al, he has it. He has it.
My final 2 positions, which are by far and away the 2 biggest positions in my portfolio. And in fact, they make up a staggering 75% of my entire portfolio. So it goes without having to say that I have a ton of conviction in both of these companies. And I wasn't scared to go all in. And it damn sure paid off. So without further ado, my second largest position is a little company you may have heard of called Amazon. And I have 74 shares at a cost basis of around $1,300. And I am currently up over $150,000 on this position. Now, one really important thing that I want to point out to you guys is that the first time that I bought shares of Amazon was actually over 7 years ago, back in 2013, when I didn't have much money, but I scraped up enough of my savings to buy 17 shares of Amazon for $300 each, which costed me a total of about $5,000. Well, those 17 shares are now worth almost $60,000, and I still haven't sold a single share. So just remember, you don't need a lot of money to make a lot of money. What matters most is that you just get started. Also, I bought those 17 shares inside of my Roth IRA, which means that when I retire and take that money out, I won't have to pay a single penny in taxes, no matter how much profit I end up making on that position over the next 30 plus years. Now, even though I am sure that Amazon will continue to dominate and grow tremendously over the next decade, at these prices, I'm not too enticed to buy more, only because I would be much more interested in buying more of my already biggest position, because I think that company specifically just has so much more upside ahead of itself than even Amazon does. And if you've been following my channel at all, it should come as no surprise to you that my biggest position by far and away is Tesla, where I currently hold over 315 shares total, and I'm up almost close to $500,000 on this position alone. And considering that I just started investing in Tesla last year, to be up this much already in just a year is just absolutely phenomenal. Now, I've made countless videos on Tesla, so if you haven't watched them, I highly recommend you do. Because the last time I had such high conviction levels on one company, that company was Amazon. And the reason I have not sold yet a single share of Tesla is because I have not even an ounce of doubt in my body that Tesla will 10x, if not more, over the next decade. So in my opinion, the prices that we are seeing Tesla stock sell for now are going to look like an absolute bargain over the next couple of years. So do your research now and don't miss out on this once in a lifetime opportunity. Now, to be completely honest with you guys, I was hesitant to even make this video, as just the thought of making a video like this made me feel a bit uncomfortable, because I am a pretty private person in general. But when I started this channel, I promised to be fully transparent and do whatever it takes to provide you guys with the most value possible. So I really hope that I did that today, and if you got any value from this video at all, then please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on that notifications bell. Also, I love talking to you guys, and I always try my very best to reply to every single comment. So let me know your thoughts on my portfolio, and let me know what stocks or topics you want me to talk about next in the comment section below. Also, remember that if you're interested in becoming a Patreon member and joining the private community, it'll be the first link in the description box. But remember to sign up quick, because there are only a limited amount of spots left, and after those spots are gone, signups will be completely closed again. But with that being said, especially if you made it to this point in the video, I have so much love for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have an absolutely amazing rest of your day. Peace.